kind of inject some logic in this whole mix. And I think what the World Health Organization is doing, as well as the CDC is doing, is actually maybe a blessing. Because here's what we've learned with the Jilly juice, is that we learned that it is an individual healing process. Okay? Jilly juice is an individual healing process that it's between you and your own body, mind, and spirit, and then whoever you bring into your world to help manage whatever it is that you're dealing with. Okay? And so that's no different than this virus that is in the area. It's in the atmosphere. It is airborne. It is carried by people incubating it. You can catch it through asymptomatic means. And so you can't escape it. There is no way to escape this coronavirus. You can try to delay your exposure, but you're only delaying the inevitable. So no matter what kind of protective measure you put into place, whether it's masks, whether it is chem warfare gear, it's not going to matter what you do if you live around people, and we live in a world where things are airborne and you don't live in a hermetically sealed bubble. So instead of inducing panic, instead of calling it a pandemic, okay, the World Health Organization is actually going to call, like they're going to say there's minor outbreaks, major outbreaks, and then put in some kind of measures to maybe slow it down. So if you are in a densely populated area and somebody is afflicted, well, you'll see numbers of people going to the hospital, or you see people kind of panic a little bit because they see a lot of people around them are dying, and maybe they go to the grocery store. Like you're hearing about places where there are empty shelves. Not everywhere in America, but some places. Here in Ohio, we have no confirmed cases. We've had suspects came back negative, but we know that there are false negatives, and we know that you can be negative one day and be positive the next day. So just because there is no confirmed case in your area doesn't mean that it isn't in your area. Of course it's in your area. It's a matter of, are they willing to test for it, and are they willing to confirm it's the actual virus? So you'll have all these different symptoms, or you'll have people around you experience different symptoms, but it could be easily chalked up to the flu. So it's not really going to make a difference whether it's the coronavirus, flu, or any virus in the environment. Okay? So no matter what, healing is going to be an individual thing. Healing and dying is an individual journey. It's not something that you can throw money at. As far as CDC, you can't throw money at healing and dying really at all, unless, well, yeah, I mean, because even with the J juice, you're throwing money at it, but how you implement the J juice is then will be the determining factor of whether or not you live or die, right? I mean, you could be throwing money at J juice and not even take it, so it won't make a difference. It's how you implement and harness the resources that what makes a difference between you living and dying. Okay? So when you think about it, I don't see them inducing too much panic unless you see the grocery store isn't keeping up with the demand. Okay? Unless you're listening to the scanners and you're hearing sirens like every single day. Somebody's dropping like flies. You see your Facebook status of people saying, oh my God, rest in peace, thoughts and prayers, whatever. You see it all over your Facebook. I see it. People are coming down with, all these different symptoms. They're getting sick. They're being told by their doctor to don't even come in. Or somebody is just sick. Okay? And you hope that when they're sick, they're not going to fall over from a heart attack or a stroke. So in a way, it's a blessing, but still, if there is a lot more flu activity in your area and you're seeing people get wind that even though Ohio has no confirmed cases, but yet the state south of us has like 81 cases, the states north of us has like 100 cases, the states west and east of us are all having confirmed cases, then you can only just figure out that, yeah, it's here in your town, but people are, since we're so spread apart out here. I mean, we're not like so densely populated like Cleveland. So maybe Cleveland might have more of a quarantine type of thing to slow down the infection rate, and that's where they might have some type of medical martial law. But someplace like where I'm at, where it's not as densely populated, they might have certain things in place. But it just depends on the population and how fast the virus whips through, a crowd of people, a community. So be very thankful that they're not going to induce panic and say, oh my God, there's a pandemic in the U.S. Everybody run to the grocery store. They know that people are going to have to deal with this virus on their own. They know it's an individual journey, and no matter what, you're going to have to stand up to this virus or succumb and die. You only have two choices. There is nothing that the CDC can do to prevent it from getting through the population, because it's an airborne, communicable disease with so many sick people on this planet that they're going to mutate it. So no matter what, you're going to have to deal with it. So now it's whether or not you put up or shut up. That's what it comes down to. So it's a lot of ways, it's a blessing in disguise. Okay? It is a blessing in disguise, and it is what it is. Okay, so I'm not worried about the virus because my body can handle it. Those that are not doing the J juice, you might worry about it, because if you're not doing the J juice and you get exposed to it and you have a major cytokine storm or an antibody acquisition that is so intense, okay, that is so intense that hopefully you don't die from a heart attack. Hopefully you don't die from a stroke. Hopefully you don't drown in your own mucus because your lungs aren't releasing as fast as those antibodies are being expressed and created. Okay? So those of you that are not doing the J juice, like Martin Hahn, you better get on the J juice. I'll look at the link later. But get on the J juice, because if you get exposed to this, people are experiencing they're experiencing heart attacks, but they're getting major headaches. I mean, major headaches. Okay? And that is a major sign, a major symptom of the body trying to repair. And it's a symptom of antibodies being created. And it could be, there could be, I don't say blockage, but I mean, when someone gets a headache, there's definitely some issues with the oxygen getting to the brain, and the bodies that are, antibodies are being created, and then the body's trying to put electrolytes in your body through so you don't have a stroke or an aneurysm or anything like that. When you have heart flutters and heart arrhythmia, the body's having trouble getting the blood through to your heart. Okay? So if you're not on the J juice, you better get your ass on it, because this virus is no joke. It will kick your ass if you're not strong enough. And the only way you're going to know if you're strong or not is when it actually hits you. Okay? And so when it actually hits you, then, yeah, I can't read that thing, Martin, so I don't know what you mean by starting next Sunday. You got to put a lead in, because it just shows me, it says Facebook posts, and that's it. Facebook post 10221212995, whatever that number is. So just put a little brief synopsis. But I'm saying is that you, Martin, and anyone else that's not on the J juice right now, on the white salt, needs to get on this very quickly. I don't care what kind of measures they put in place to slow it down. No matter what, you're going to be exposed. No matter what it takes to be able to reconcile with the virus. And the CDC, the FDA, the government can't really do anything to save you or not save you. It's out there. What Trump does, as far as him cutting the CDC budget, it's not going to make a difference. Okay? Because what are you going to do? Have people welded shut into their houses? You don't know. I mean, you don't want to go there. That's communism. We don't have communism here in America. You're free to heal, and you're free to die. with a little bit of help on each end. But in the end, it really is up to you. Okay, you're in China, you don't have the freedom to die the way you want to die, to heal. God, the way you want to heal. Okay? So now you know, if you're in America or in the West, you have the freedom to heal with the most basic ingredients, minerals on this earth. Most basic. Okay? And that is the cabbage, the kale, the water, and the and the white salt. See, I get even, you know, whatever. And the white salt that you can get in your area. And you can get the most basic ingredients, top ramen, crackers, peanut butter, and jelly, because you need fatty acid, amino acids, prohormones, and minerals, and it comes in forms of sugar, salt, minerals like, you know, certain like spices or whatever is in those sodium packs with the top ramen. You get your carbohydrates, more sugars, whatever. You get your animal fats from the canned chicken or canned tuna or something. So you can live very, very cheaply and very, very minimally and still get all of those basic ingredients that your body needs. Okay? You can get all of your basic, you don't have to have things that are like, you know, gourmet in jars. You don't have to have things that are like, you know, organic or whatever. Oh, I believe that the Chinese Communist Party is burning the infected people. I believe it. I believe it. And that's pretty crazy. But I don't see it happening here. I see what's going to happen here is that we're going to have an idea of what's going on out there in the world. So that way we are not totally surprised by how it may affect us. Okay? And so if I was somebody to try to depopulate the world, if that was my intention, you know, I would start off with countries that have so many people like China or the Philippines or India, okay, and create a bioweapon, if that was really my intention, that would affect a lot of people. And then people here in the West, you know, we have guys here in Ohio that are so strong, that are so robust, Caucasian, that, you know, they get hit with the virus, but they can handle it. But you have somebody who's a vegan vegetarian that lives mostly on vegetables, and you think of China, they live mostly on like dim sum and maybe a little bit of heavier food in the north, okay? But they don't have the strong immune system like people here in like Ohio, who live off of the land in a lot of ways, who, yeah, they get all their vaccines or not. They get the meat and the milk and all of the diverse foods in the 4 food groups. And yeah, it might be a little bit bigger over here, but they're strong. The guys here and the women are very, very strong. They can handle the virus. But you get somebody who is a vegan vegetarian with major predispositions, they're going to have a hard time dealing with this virus. You get somebody in China that lives off of vegetables and dumplings, and that's it. People in the north may actually survive because they live on heavier foods. I ate that's Panda Express. That's like Panda Express. When you eat Panda Express, if you were eating that, that's northern Chinese food with all the heavy sauces and all that, and then all of the dim sum and the steamed types of dumplings and the steamed, you know, yeah, the little rice things that I love at dim sum. That's the southern Chinese, you know, cooking and foods. So the people in the south are going to suffer more than people in the north, I would imagine, given that this is their diet. So imagine people that don't that don't eat any meat and they are so slight and drinking herbs and all that, they're going to have a very hard time reconciling with this virus. So the virus is going to take out the weak, and they're going to take the strong, but not so much to take them out unless you have aggressive pre-existing conditions. Okay? So no matter what, healing is a personal journey, And dying is a personal journey, none of which the CDC and Trump or the WHO can do anything about except give you the indicators. What are the indicators? Look at China. Look at what goes on in Iran, South Korea, North Korea, the Philippines, Africa. And then now we as Americans are going to have the freedom to die or the freedom to live. And if you're not harnessing the right elements, okay, or the West, if you're not harnessing the right elements, then you'll end up like these counterparts. So you have a choice. And be fucking glad you have a choice, Westerners. Be so glad you're not communist. But look what the Democrats did. They put in Bernie Sanders as their candidate for the Democratic Party, who major Bolshevik, total left wing. Okay? That is right there what we're facing if we allow that guy in office as far as president. Who's to say what's going to happen in the future? You know, Trump really, said that the economy, which, he was promoting the economy, which is, yeah. But the economy is going to tank a little bit. We're going to see a bit of a recession. To what extent and how aggressive, where the market crashed, I have no idea. But the point, it's going down. How far down it's going, I don't know. But there were indicators that said that the economy we're due for another recession. But everything looked great. Trump is doing all these tradings and whatever, and we're taking our companies back from China and overseas from Mexico, bringing it over here to the West or to America. But this is a black swan event. So yeah, Bernie is a literal con. He is. But right now, we're dealing with a black swan event that we haven't even anticipated. So no matter what, I hope Trump wins. Definitely will be voting in the next election. And no matter what, I hope he wins, but you never know what may happen. Okay, at this point, we never even anticipated this virus around half the world. So funnier things have happened. I wouldn't be surprised if Bernie wins, but I hope Trump does. But I wouldn't be surprised. So no matter what, just stick with the white salt, the cabbage, and the kale. Be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. There'll be some degree between dystopian and Thunderdome to, normalcy. But we're going to be in for instability. But no matter what, it's an individual journey. Okay? You're going to have to deal with this virus in some way or another. The Jilly Juice will help you reconcile with this virus, but you have to do the Jilly Juice. Not put your hope into something that you're not even doing. And you have to let the mucus flow, you have to have the waterfalls, and you have to feel pain. And if you want to do any of those, then you will have a hard time dealing with this aggressive environment, because it is aggressive. But they're not going to any kind of panic, but still be very, very aware of your community. And if the ER and the doctor and then the hospitals are all overflowing, and then the policemen and your own government is falling ill in their own ranks, to answer the phone, okay, or be there for emergencies, that National Guard will come and keep law and order, which means that you'll have a lot more limitations on your mobility, which then means, okay, how often can you go out and get food? Martin says, stocks are in a hyper bubble. I've always said there are only two things that can beat Trump, him dying or a major economic downturn. China is a second on Earth, and the workshop of the world where they slow down, the world slows down by default. Your analysis is spot on. Yeah. I mean, it's the indicators were there, and you kind of saw too, and I was kind of saying, I'm paying attention, and I have a little bit of logic with JGs, but still, it's so precisely. But you can see indicators and know that there's a few directions the economy can take, as well as the body can take, given we're all working with the same resources. So there's a few scenarios that are going to come into play, but no matter what, we'll survive it. You just have to be able to survive on your own, much less, and to also survive the economy. If you can't survive on your own, there's no way you'll be able to adapt to the conditions that are out there. So the J Juice will help you guys adapt to the conditions regardless of what they are. And you just be very thankful that you're not in China being burned out of your home. They don't have the freedom to live and die over there. They have the freedom to just do whatever is absolutely minimal. Okay? Because there's so many people over there in China. I was there in 2003 before they became this crazy superpower. And they were all very, very optimistic, very positive. When I met with some of the younger Chinese people, and I went to the bookstore, and they had all of these American entrepreneurship, and they were really wanting to emulate America, and they did to some extent. And they definitely built up a major empire over there. But like any empire, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So we're seeing a fall right now, and we hope that we don't get caught up too much. But we now have a different way to deal with it, and we will be able to survive. And so the J juice will help us deal with the fluctuations in the body, mind, and spirit, and in politics, religion, and health, and finances. All right, so you guys, I got a thing to do, but I just wanted to insert some logic and a little bit of calmness that don't worry, the WHO is not going to induce panic. The CDC will not induce panic in your town, and everyone is individually responsible for their own body, mind, and spirit health. And if you have what it takes to handle the environment, then great, you'll survive it. If you don't, well, God, life, whoever let you know. Okay, have a good day. Bye.